Our review this week is, of course, Watch Dogs, Ubisoft's latest big-ass open-world game. So let's check this out. What do we got? This is, I don't know.
It's a GTA clone.
Too bad the hype train derailed this game.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. So I heard some rumors that this game was actually leaked. This game hit the torrent sites and all that stuff. And I remember seeing that like Ubisoft was trying to pull all the videos down of like people doing gameplay and such because the game was getting bashed and they didn't want people to see this stuff before the game actually hit the retail shelves. But
yeah, of course.
We had a chance to check it out this week after it released, and I like this game. I think they did a pretty good job. We can get into the pros and cons as always. Let's start off with the graphics, like we usually do. Now, I played this on PC. I didn't have any issues with the graphics.
I heard that there
on
were
PC.
some last couple days. There were
okay.
some troubles with the PC version.
Yeah, we saw some tearing a little bit here and there, but we didn't see any of the like glitching and like save errors and like because I did see them talking about that.
Yeah, I didn't notice anything major with that. Everything looked nice and smooth to me. Like Chris said, a little bit of screen tearing, but everything else looked nice. Had a nice smooth frame rate.
Yeah, this wasn't too bad. Again, we were able to play it on a pretty decent system, so we had all the textures turned on, all the effects and stuff, and yeah, we actually commented too in our GameSlean video for this. There's some lighting effects with like the sun and some other stuff that was actually pretty noticeable, and it's cool that they did that. So I want to say this, if you're able to play this on a beefy computer, or you're playing an Xbox One, PS4. This is definitely a next-gen game. They didn't screw up the graphics, although, like we said, I don't know. There's been some complaints that, and when we talked about it too in our top 5 video, the console graphics downgrade. So overall, though, I can't complain. They did all right with the graphics on this one. So yeah, let's.
That's it. That's the end of the review.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Nothing more to say. If we want to talk about sound real quick. We talk about these usually when we review a big game, but with these AAA titles, usually there's a certain standard that they try to hit, and usually they do. There's some interesting music in this game, but the voices are all really well done. Everything sounds the way it's supposed to. You're driving around, you get the ambient sounds, you get the stuff. Yeah, you want to talk about that music or that right there?
You're driving up. What the hell? There's no bridge.
Yeah. The freaking bridge there. Like we can talk about that like later in gameplay. The freaking like you follow the GPS, right? So you can see it. You can see it here on the mini map. But yeah, see, it's not showing up here because he's not in the car. But if you look there, if you look carefully, it's like the blue is on the bridge. So like when you're behind the wheel of a vehicle, it will superimpose like the GPS HUD like on the actual road. We have some footage of this coming up that'll show that. But this particular spot, I drove off the friggin' edge and into the water like 2 or 3 times.
You were so surprised. You were like, "What?"
The GPS was telling me to go there, and I was like, "Okay, whatever," and just blindly like tearing through. And of course, I'm on like it's like
we're going.
See, yeah,
we
here
don't
it is.
need roads.
The friggin' train tracks. Now watch. I'm gonna pull up to the edge again and be like, "Oh wait, what the hell?
It must be there now."
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What the hell?
It's there. It's just facing the wrong way.
And we still couldn't figure out how to adjust that thing. You're supposed to hack the shit.
Well, Chris, this game is all about hacking.
Yeah, well, I couldn't.
Hack
This
the
is
bridge.
okay. So there's other spots where like if you go far enough out of the city, your phone will disconnect because you're out of wireless range. So then you can't use it then. So I think this may have been one of those spots. Whatever the case was, I couldn't find anything in the environment here to turn that thing around. So I don't know.
He swam back to the mainland.
Yeah, pretty much. You'll see that
pitiful.
here in a minute. Yeah. So what was that? Like half a minute? I'm just sitting there like a jackass, wondering what the hell I'm supposed to do.
You should have drove into the crate.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, what the
Bob
heck are you
Bradford
thinking?
agrees with me.
Yeah, Bob wants you to drive into the crate next
I think
time.
that's coming up.
Right.
Although, dude, I looked at that. I don't think you can do it. What are you gonna do? Put the car in there and then raise it up? What the hell's the point?
This is real life.
It didn't
You're
go
gonna drive into the
anywhere.
crate.
There's probably a warp gate to like the end of the game or something.
Yeah.
Missed out.
Yeah, I'm sure. Let's wrap up sound here. The only other thing I was going to comment on the friggin' sound. Yeah, the voice acting is done really well. It's just par for the course here with a game that had this type of budget.
It's I can't complain about everything, but nothing stood out to me. It
Yeah,
fit.
that was the comment I was going to make. There's nothing really standing out except for that Tron-tastic fixer music, right?
Yeah, the voice acting was fairly decent. I mean, it fit, but the soundtrack for an open world game, I wish there was a lot more variety. Obviously, with like GTA and stuff, I don't know. I just feel like there was like a wider range of different types of music. There wasn't in this game.
GTA is like the king of that, of getting like a really varied soundtrack, especially with the last 2 entries. I mean, they were hitting like.
But there's
every
some big
genre
artists
of
on
music.
this.
This
game.
But I'll say this: that comes down to a licensing issue and a money thing. And, and I mean, Ubisoft's a big company, but I mean, this is dealing with like Rockstar Cash has that shit on the DL, like with all the tracks. I mean, that's like one of the staples of their series since I want to say Vice City. Like they've always had like packed full of licensed soundtracks. So I don't expect every other open world game to follow in suit, but
Yeah.
It just like I said, nothing really stood out though. There were like no tracks where I was like, oh man, this song's in this game, but it worked. It fit the bill. Can't really complain about it.
Right.
I didn't freaking like it.
Oh, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, you didn't like. I mean, I don't know. I didn't recognize hardly any of the tracks in this, but yeah, I feel like for something like GTA, I'll find, because they're split up into the radio stations, I'll find like 1 or 2 stations that I like. I always stick it on that, and then you wind up hearing the same like half dozen songs over and over and over again. So even that can get.
I've parked the car in GTA though, just so I could finish listening to a song.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, mission. I'm like, I really want to hear the end of this song. I mean, I always listen to the punk hardcore station, so every song's only like 2 minutes, but still, it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that I can understand. So that should sum up sound. They did the job with sound. No complaints. Let's bounce over to gameplay. The gameplay is really solid. There's a whole bunch of stuff to do. There's the main story missions. There's the side stuff. There's there's shopping. You can use your ill-gotten money to buy clothing. You can buy tons of stuff. There's a whole upgrade skill tree, so you can upgrade your hacking abilities. You can upgrade all kinds of stuff. The one complaint I had in gameplay is that, and it could be that we didn't get to some of the fancier cars, but the vehicle controls are just stiff as hell. At least starting out, and that's one thing where if you're going to compare this to Grand Theft Auto, the vehicle controls. I was
Grand Theft Auto 4.
I was having trouble just doing like basic turns. I get that you got to slow down. You can't just tear into the current turns and be on the gas all the time. But even with even being on the brake and trying to turn, I just could not get control.
Yeah, I noticed that with most of the cars, but I always try to find a motorcycle, and I think those controls.
So you just roll bikes the whole time.
Yeah,
look at this. It's just crashing into everything.
Yeah, you notice that you'll swerve, you'll and you'll go around.
I think that was me driving. I think I did that on purpose, to be completely honest. But
all right.
No, I know. It's a lot of the cars controlled very stiff. But I noticed, if you mix up with some of the cars, some of the, I guess, the more sporty models had a bit better control. So really did depend on the car. But yeah, definitely not as tight as GTA 5. And I know people are going to be like, oh, it's not GTA 5. Well, the comparison's there because they're both big open world games with different missions you can take on.
Yeah, they're very similar.
I will say this, everything I played on this, definitely didn't seem as, even though you could steal cars or races and stuff, this game didn't seem as automobile-centric as Grand Theft Auto.
Yes.
So this one I felt more was about, walking around the city and looking for things to hack. So
definitely.
It was not a game killer for me. It was a minor thing. And the controls aren't the greatest for the driving, but they're definitely very passable still. So, like I said, I feel like a pretty minor complaint with all things considered.
Right.
This thing, I gotta mention this because it's on the screen right now. This blew me away. So if you play GTA or whatever and you start causing chaos like this, then you just attract the police, right? But with this, if you start pulling any shit, you can see the icon that was up there a minute ago, right? With the flashing red, which looks like radio waves or whatever, and it'll put those above people and shows that those are the people that are calling the cops on you, and then. I mean, you can stop them. If you kill those people or if you dispose of them and they can't, then you can cause it so that the police, they don't complete the call or whatever like that. And you'll see that, you'll be driving around or whatever, or if you do whatever. I thought that was just one of the funniest things I've seen in a game in a while. It's just
yeah, that was pretty awesome. You do something no one else watching, all of a sudden you see a few people at the call icon. You're just like, oh, gotta take those jerks out for being narcs.
But then your reputation goes down.
Yeah. Screw my reputation. Go as far as also individual people on the screen. what I really liked has how like every person walking off screen has some sort of profile. It's not much, but you get like a name and like interests and like what they do,
what their money.
Like
their
what was it?
income.
We were driving around and like one guy like we saw it was like frequently searches the word rape online, and we were just like,
that's what that just was. That whole truck sequence.
oh yeah, it was the ice cream guy. You're right.
Yeah,
oh yeah, Andy was a guy driving an ice cream
we
truck.
Just saw that.
Yeah, we took him out. Don't worry, guys. We took care of him.
Right.
We cleaned up the scum.
We actually just saw that piece of footage. Yeah, like if you see that was like I was running the light, or I was just tearing through the intersection, and the guy crashed into me and wrecked my what appears to be the clone of the Nissan GTR, and I was psyched about having that. So the guy smashed into me, and the car, like, that was it, crippled the car. So I got out, and then Jeff noticed that the thing had popped up, because when you walk around, your cell phone is just continually scanning people, and it'll show you, like, if you highlight them, they got this icon. It'll show you, like, it'll give you a little blurb about, like, whatever. And it showed up that, like, yeah, that's what he had been searching on, and Jeff was like, kill that dude! So yeah, you're right though. It's like every single NPC that you come across will have something if your phone's working. So yeah, that was good. This game, I gotta say, I mean, I've mentioned this before, but usually you get like, the people that get their hands on the game early. Usually you start to see opinions, a day or so before the game releases, and then you get the review sites that get the review copies, and then they post a review, pretty quick, either before the game comes out or on the day that it comes out. So I do try to stay away from that stuff and play the game myself to form my own opinion. But this time, it just seems like there was a lot of bashing going on, and I want to say I had the complete opposite experience with this. This game was awesome.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah. I loved it, and I definitely want to go back and play more. Really, like I said, other than the little minor complaints we have, I thought everything was extremely solid. There's a lot to do. The gameplay was fun. The game looks nice. Other than like little minor things, really no complaints.
There you go. All right, so let's put up the scorecard. What is the verdict on this? Watch Dogs is a must play.
Yeah, I see. This is just coming from my perspective. I haven't actually played it yet, but I just judging from like you guys talking about it and watching your Let's Play and like all that kind of stuff, I can see where the critics are coming from. Only because in my head, I pictured the game being very different than what I'm seeing on the screen and what's being portrayed, and I could see kind of like just the comparisons to Grand Theft Auto like affecting this game negatively, because I had a completely different perception of what the game was going to be.
Yeah.
To be honest,
you're saying it's like almost like just like a generic open world,
I like for some reason I pictured a game that was like, I don't know, just more of like a Born Supremacy type. I don't know, just like a more like you're a spy, like you're like
maybe with like a more focused story and the less emphasis on the open world.
Yeah, I wanted.
Yeah, I can see that. There's some elements I feel like I like it, but there's some elements to me that it's almost kind of generic in a way. It's like, oh, I've seen this.
I see what you're saying, but how many like open world games like this do we really get?
I mean, there's not a crazy amount, but
I mean, there's GTA and
Just Cause.
Saints
Just
Row.
Cause.
Yakuza. People play that.
No.
I mean, the best one is Just Cause too. So.
Yeah.
I want to agree with that, because I actually did feel the same way when they showed that footage from E3. I was thinking the same things you just said, and it's just an open world thing styled very heavily in the same type of thing as GTA. But even taking that into consideration, this is a pretty solid game. They've
really what differentiates this is the hacking. And, that adds a lot of variety, in my opinion. Even just like we're running from cops, and you just have a mechanism to get them off your back by like hacking the barricades and having them raise up behind you. You get a cool little action scene. And the base open world gameplay is solid enough. So I'm going to stick to my opinion.
My last comment I'm going to make on this one is I think if they decide to build this thing into a franchise, which
they will,
anticipating they probably will, I think they do have a solid foundation with this.
They're definitely going to make a sequel, because this was the fastest selling, I think, Ubisoft game of all time.
Didn't that break some records?
Yeah, it was the fastest Ubisoft game of all time.
That's crazy. So yeah, guys, if you're interested in seeing more Watch Dogs, check out our Let's Slean series. We've got a bunch of them going up. There's still a few more parts to be posted, and that's going to sum things up. That is Watch Dogs by Ubisoft. Thanks for watching, Sleens. If you like that one, we've got more for you right here.